What you are about to see is a very secret, very personal behind-the-scenes look at a former YouTuber's life. What you see on camera is often not what you see in reality. This is my reality. I quickly realized that I was in dire need of help. Over the years, I realized you guys have been there with me every step of the way, praying for me and helping me. In a weird time loop paradox, even though you haven't seen me yet, you've already been helping me. So I thank you for that. Please share these videos with your friends, click like, leave a comment. I don't know if I will be here to read your comments. At the end of the day, I don't know how much time I have. And also, please respect my privacy, because it is a life or death matter at this point. Alright, so it is -1 moving day. 1 day behind. So yesterday, I got home and it seemed like he was trying to be especially nice. Like a lot of things that he doesn't normally do, he was doing. And I noticed that yesterday too, that he seemed like he was trying to be a little bit nicer. Like he cleaned up the dinner. He made the tacos and he cleaned it all up. And yeah, he doesn't ever do that. And then yesterday, he offered to pick up Bub from the bus stop, but only because Judge Judy wasn't going to be on. And he was trying to be consoling, I guess, with I was lamenting that I wasn't going to have enough time to drink my coffee because I had pushed start on the coffee brewer and then it just didn't brew. Apparently I didn't push it correctly or something. So I looked at the clock and it was like 4 o'clock. I'm like, I'm not gonna have time. And just like I knew, I never drank my coffee that day. I drank like, I think 4 sips at dinner and it was just like, I can't do that. So that kind of sucked because I really wanted some coffee. But, oh well. That's how it is most days. That's why at least in my office, I get my coffee. Then I got the feeling that maybe he was listening in on my phone. You know, they've got tracking services or like spyware things you can put on people's phone that access the audio. And I guess they can listen in while you talk. Or just in general day-to-day life. Not on phone calls, but just in general, it's in the background recording stuff. So I thought, I wonder if that's what he did. I mean, if that were the case, he would be in some deep trouble, because that would be one of those things that I might consider suing him over, because I would be so pissed. You know, it's like you want to end on a good note, that would be ending on a very bad note. Because you don't do that. And if someone's already pissed off, you don't piss them off to the moon and back. So, yeah. Not quite sure on that one. Besides the fact that I don't like my stuff messed with, if there's tracking stuff on my laptop and my phone and it's slowing it down, he's definitely going to have some serious issues, because I don't tolerate my business technology messed with. That's why I had a passcode on my computer, so that I wouldn't have the kids getting on there, because I didn't want the kids messing anything up. If I was just your average person that just dinked around on the internet and Facebook and whatever, who cares? You know, if it's a little bit slower, no big deal. But when my use of the computer entails high performance and internet speeds that need to not be messed with, yeah, things just got serious. So I know I'm not the type of person to be so awful to say, well, now you're not going to get any child custody, because that's not fair to Aaron. He needs to be able to see his dad too. And so that's why I think weekends would be great, because he would still get to see him every weekend, and I can keep him focused during the week and on track with school, and head to bed at a decent hour. Yesterday he kind of got to bed at a decent hour, but anytime we play Minecraft, it's like way too late, and I keep saying, hey, we gotta shut this down, and then hold on, just a little bit more, and then like an hour later. So anyway, so I was telling you that he was trying to be a little bit nicer to me yesterday, which raised my red flags, that I thought, what is he up to? He's not usually this nice to me. What's going on? And then of course, you know, it's just like with my ex-husband, people can only be fake for so long. Yeah, so we played Minecraft, and I had thought that maybe the reason that we didn't move yesterday was because we had to go finish the Minecraft mission. And the mission was to go to this big mansion that was a long journey and would be filled with all sorts of wonderful treasures, which they don't. And I told them all at the beginning, I said, there's nothing good in those things. There just isn't. And you know, in my mind, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. All the different things you get to see while you go over there. You can mine gold, you can find spooky tunnels, you can find abandoned villages and cool features. You know, there's just so many different cool things you can see and do along the way. We gotta get going, we gotta get going, we gotta go. We can't stop, we can't stop, we gotta go to the mansion. And to the point where he actually was cheating, and you can launch the game in what they call creative mode, which is where you're like a game creator and you're invisible in the game, nothing can see you, nothing will hurt you, but you can fly around and look at stuff. You can also load up your inventory with anything you can think of. So he did that, and he flew to the Woodland Mansion and put signs down to get there along the way so that we would know how to get there. The only problem with that is that instead of trying to journey there, we started just trying to look for the signs, and that didn't work out at all. Spent more time running in a circle trying to find his sign that he had put down earlier in the day. And so it was fun at first, like normal, and then he starts in getting mad and yelling because my computer glitches and I'm behind everybody. I can't jump as smoothly, I can't navigate. I am all thumbs when it comes to video games. That's just how it is. So he was getting mad, swearing up a storm, swearing at me, swearing at Aaron. It was becoming very toxic, and I felt terrible for Aaron. Aaron is a lot like me in many respects. He tries to stay positive, at least with his dad. With me, he doesn't. I don't know why. So his dad's getting mad and yelling, and Aaron is just still trying to be positive, and I just felt sick. I felt physically ill playing with them, and I just wanted to give up, because that's all that it took to just like break me back down to that low point where there's no hope. You try so hard to rise above it, and so close to reaching that shoreline, and then you have an octopus that wraps its tentacle across your leg and starts pulling you back down, and you're weak, and it's hard to fight it, and you just feel yourself sinking again down, down, down. And you see the surface slowly start to disappear. And you think, I was almost there. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then you try and you kick your feet and you drag that octopus back up to the surface with you because he doesn't want to let go. And you just fall onto your back and do the backstroke, floating because you're too exhausted to swim. That's all you can do is just float there and hope that you catch your breath. And that was me last night. And we never made it to the mansion. Eric was getting too upset. Eric was getting mad. Things weren't going the way he wanted them to go, so he was going to get mad, he was going to swear, and he was going to start yelling at everything. But that's life. Life doesn't go the way you want it to. But I did get my video out yesterday. It was just kind of a video. And unfortunately that added to my depression too, because, you know, I don't get it. There are people that put videos out and they're not any better than mine. If anything, they might be worse than mine, and they don't have like an amazing thumbnail, but yet they get like all these thousands of views instantly. And I just don't get it. I'm just like, maybe people hate me. Maybe people recognize my name and they're like, ugh, I don't want to watch them. It's the only thing I can think of, like legit. I don't know. I don't get it. So that discourages me because I'm just like, I'm the only one that's not growing. I should be getting more views than I am, and I'm not. And I don't know if I can wait 6 months for another channel. I don't. I might end up just disappearing. But then you've got other channels like Keeping It Dutch, and he's been doing YouTube for over 10 years. He was one of the original ones, and he was doing the homesteading stuff. And I don't know the exact story on it, but he ticked off some people because he wasn't true to homesteading like they wanted him to be. He was more true to YouTube, and he was doing stuff for YouTube. And I think at a certain point when you're doing YouTube, you have to make the decision, am I just doing this for fun, or am I doing this to grow a business? And how you approach your videos at that point is vastly different. And so I think that's what he did. He's been trying to grow a business, and his views were not very good for a long time. A long time. He finally made it up to 100,000 subs after 10 years. And what a milestone. I totally applaud him. Anyone who's been doing YouTube for 10 years, I think should reach 100,000. I think you really need to have that in your life for that long of a dedication. I mean, but here's the kicker. So he reached 100,000 like, I want to say 3 months ago. Guess what he's up to now? He's up to almost 200,000. He probably hit 200,000 already. Like crazy. And he doesn't make the most interesting videos or anything. He just puts out his normal same videos. Like, my video editing is probably more top-notch than most people's, and his thumbnails are terrible, but yet here he is just exploding. He started doing German Shepherd videos and trespassing videos, and that really is what did it. He was playing YouTube as a YouTuber, putting out exactly what he thought would get the views, and a lot of them were clickbait, but you know what? He's getting it done. I fully applaud his efforts and how he's growing, and I'm not jealous of him. I mean, totally, he's been dedicated, but it's the people that are brand new that
suddenly start taking off that I'm just kind of like, this just is not fair. And truthfully, I mean, how many of these channels are going to keep going? It's tough to say. I mean, you've got North Texas Hay that I guess has just disappeared. I don't know. But that's a little bit different story because her husband was the one that ran that channel and he died, and she tried to pick it up and she was getting good views. She really was, but I don't know if they just sold the hay farm or they're not doing the hay or what's going on, but it's a lot tougher for them because I'm sure it reminds them of their dad. And yeah. I don't know about anybody else that started with a vengeance and then just stopped. I think most people are just keeping on. There's another farming channel that started last year that blew up pretty big, pretty fast, and I guess he was getting burned out after a while, but he was putting like daily videos out, and that's just insane. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what I need to do with my channel, and I know I have to be patient and just let God do what he needs to do. If God doesn't have it in his will to bless me like that with my channel, then I have to accept that. I mean, it would be nice because I would earn more income and I wouldn't be struggling so much. But at the end of the day, I really need to sit down and evaluate my goals. I want to get the horses trained. I want to get my book published and my picture book published, and I definitely don't want to overload myself with stuff again. I was so overloaded here on the farm, but a lot of that was that didn't want to support me on anything as far as what I wanted to do. He didn't help me balance anything. It was just, I go to work all day and you don't, so I don't have to do anything around here. You've got lots of time, you figure it out. That's what it was. And when you have that kind of pressure, you give up on all of your dreams. You're just like, well, no one's helping me here. I'm buried alive and stuff to do. Because on a farm, as you know, there's a never-ending list of stuff to do. And what is always coming back at me and belittling me for not getting something done or letting something fall through the cracks, I got tired of feeling like shit all the time, and I just started running around doing everything I could find. And I stopped working with the horses, and I stopped writing, and I pretty much didn't do anything with hide tanning. Everything I loved, I gave up. I became a shell of myself, a dead thing. So now if that happens again, it's going to be my own fault. And I really need to evaluate my time and make sure that I am taking care of my house. And I did kind of have to give up on the house here just because I felt like I wasn't getting any support anywhere. I was working on YouTube, and I was working on the farm, and taking care of the kids, and trying to take care of the house. And when you take on more work, more stuff gets undone. And that's how it was around the house. So, in the new house, since it's just going to be my two kids, I'm going to dictate chores that everyone has to do, including Aaron. I'm going to have to find something that he can do, a couple things that he can do, because he needs to start doing chores. So, anyway, I need to get going.